Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities in Miniature. It is time for some birthday painting progress. Oh yeah. Actually, my birthday is tomorrow. At least the day I posted this. It's always July 8th. Anyway, I will be totally honest. I have just had absolutely zero motivation to pick up a paintbrush. I bought new ones too. I just have not had the drive to do a whole lot of productivity without the rest of my family around, which is funny because when they're here, they can't stand when I'm wasting time hobbying. And if they are here, then I'm probably doing things with them and griping about the fact that I don't have time to paint. And then when they're not here, I can't get any painting done. So there's no logic there at all, but they're coming back tomorrow. So I am excited about that. That's like the best birthday present ever for me. I am trying to get stuff done, and maybe I will reward everybody with some birthday videos. I don't know. But no, I've been trying to get some stuff finished up because they are coming home, and I have had to take care of house stuff and grown-up stuff in the meantime. But managed to get a couple other figures finished up from my brother as well as myself, so we'll just go ahead with the show here without further ado, I guess. I want to say that this is a actual GW League of Votan guy. I could be wrong, but the circuit board thing on his back, the big guns, the belt buckle, and the actual GW base are all strong indicators that, yes, this is an official figure. Brother painted that one up. And to go with it is this Drop Minis Knife Fighter. And I want to say she was a free file. And I can tell that's a printed one. Or at least a non-GW one because it's on an MDF base, which he's really into. But that's a pretty cool figure. I know he's actually grabbed a few more. And if you're curious about grabbing this model yourself, as always, we'll have those links down below. You can download and go down that rabbit hole to your heart's content. I can't tell if she's supposed to have something in her mouth, like a cigarette or something, or if it's just debris. I'm going to go with a cigarette. Yeah, and then speaking of printers and printing, I had my screen finally die on my Saturn, so I already ordered a replacement screen, and I'm not looking forward to having to undo all those screws and fight with the wiring, but I've done it before, so I know I can do it again. Not this printer, but we were starting to see holes and gaps in models, and that's never good. And here we have a very lovely, filthy, I mean, look at that, filth. Filthy Naval Heretic Raider power armor, if I can get that mouthful out of my mouth, from Crimson Steel Mechworks. Crimson Steel Mechworks just finished up all of their ridiculous stretch goals for their last Calamity's Ashes Kickstarter Crusade campaign. Crusade campaign, it's the same thing. It's late at night when I'm filming this, by the way, so my knowledge and vocabulary are starting to dwindle. But if they've finished up the prior one, that's a good indicator that they're going to be gearing up for an inevitable third one in the near future at some point. I know they've been teasing some of the stuff on their Discord, so you guys should absolutely go take a look at that. So in addition to all that stuff, I got a couple things painted myself, and I've been on a bit of a bestiarum kick, and I will be absolutely happy to admit that my stuff is nowhere near as nicely painted as his. So we have just a random Chaos Warrior with his gut hanging out there. Can't be bothered wearing a shirt. And I did a nice job of messing up the helmet there. The shield, I got some paint on it and it splattered and I just ran with it. It looks all chipped and messed up, so I'm okay with that. Just a kind of generic Chaos Warrior dude. This, on the other hand, is a steampunk captain from Bestiarum. I really like this model. I think she's pretty cool. Whether or not she actually has any human arms anymore is anybody's guess. Asymmetrical arms are always fun. Got the big old magnum there. chainsaw sword, and the giant hunting rifle is a nice touch. I did an okay job on her. I like the little bullet casings on the base as well. She came out alright. I absolutely could have done better. She has been plaguing my table for quite some time now, so I'm happy to see her finished. That was a cool set she was from, actually. I don't know, very Trench Crusade-y as well, I guess. Alright, next up is a random Raging Heroes figure from their Iron Empire. I absolutely ruined her face multiple times over, and I don't know what's what, so I just left it like a silver mask. It's supposed to be a skull under there. I'm not pleased with the results. I love that rifle of hers. It is so big and ridiculous, and she's carrying it over one shoulder. I'm probably going to have to go back and fix that face. It's really irking me now. But I love her big sniper rifle. Assuming that she's supposed to be a sniper. It doesn't look like it's much of a sniping type gun. Looks like a big tank buster or something like that, but the ridiculous giant scythe on it is very cool. She's from the Iron Empire set from Raging Heroes. I know tracking down which is always the challenge, but I know at least that she's been fairly recent, so happy hunting for that one. Next is a model that I have had on my table since he probably came out. This is like the original Wadroon release. Well, maybe he wasn't the original. I've got the other one. I've got the one that has the two sickles in his hands, and I'm trying to find him, and I don't see him, of course. The one time I want him, he's not handy, and every other time he seems to be in front of my face. But I don't know if this is the alternative, the limited one. So the other one has two sickles like this in front of him. But the Scion of Conquest here, I figure worst case, I can use him as a veteran or a chosen of Conquest. We'll put him to work. But he at least matches up with all my recently painted Wadroon, so I can't complain too much. Could I have done a better job? Of course. There's always room for improvement, and I'll be the first to admit I am my own worst critic. Speaking of Conquest, however, I got the first of the Oni finished up. And this is a figure that I absolutely just gave a big middle finger to and said, I'm done. I'm tired of painting this guy. I'm just sick of painting all the paneling on that armor. It's making me crazy. And the frustrating thing is, he's just supposed to be, a grunt unit. He's not even a hero or anything. Why am I putting so much time into it? His buddies are almost done. I figure at least, I've got my Oyabun already done up. And if I end up... I've got a Daimyo box I was going to do a video on at some point. I figure worst case, Daimyo can fill in just like the Oyabun as a regular Oni warrior here. But we are going to get them on the table. My original estimate of having the unit finished by the end of June was a little bit off. I only have one of the three done, but the other guys are just about finished, so I was close. But it's been a sad, anemic assortment of paintings for me this summer so far. But, you can't win them all, right? But at least things are getting painted, and it's always better than having a bunch of gray, half-done figures, right? So I'm going to try to remain optimistic, and hopefully all of you are doing the same out there and getting your stuff painted and hopefully getting it on the table, because that's the next big step. And as always, like I mentioned before, we'll have those links. You guys can check out where to find all this stuff yourself, and hopefully you can do just as nice a job painting it, and maybe I'll remember to finally post some of these things on social media so you guys can nitpick them just as badly as me. And with that said then, this has been High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities and Miniatures, saying thanks for watching, and we'll see you back here soon. Bye-bye.